Tyrann, yesterday, Tamari Davis pretty kind of emphatically spoke saying people should be supporting Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, and that it's there's a lot of expectations around here because of what Sean Payton and Drew Brees did, but kind of take a step back. Appreciate what you kind of make of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably second that. I didn't really read the whole quote or see the whole interview, but I feel the same way, man. I've had a lot of great coaches, over the course of my career. I think DA is up there, with some of the best of them, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think anytime a coach takes over a team, like that's growing pains. You know what I mean? Like it's things that he has to learn, as well. And as far as Derek, man, like it's hard to kind of replace a legend. You know what I mean? So, but he took it well. I think this year, man, you saw some growth. Especially with him, and the younger receivers. So, that's all you can ask for, man. And, each and every day, man, he come out here and he's the same guy. He's leading us, and so we support him.
And Tyrann, the things that you don't do as well physically as you did 10 years ago, better. Does he make up with that with your mental part of the game? Are you that much smarter where you're in a position now because you've thought it through more than your physical not taking over?
Yeah, I mean, physically, I don't think I've ever been gifted. I think my RAS score was like, pretty average. You know what I mean? So, but for me, it was always about effort, attitude. The way I practice. The way I embrace coaches and teammates. Those things have always given me an edge. And anytime I get on the football field, it's all about practice and the things that you work throughout the weekend. I take those things seriously, and I think every time I've showed up, on game day, I've always felt like I had the advantage. You know what I mean? So, but physically, I've always been not Patrick Peterson. I think I've always been Tyrann Mathieu.
Is that why you think you've lasted as long as you have in the league?
Yeah, a lot of prayers, man. A lot of support, and like I said, I've taken this thing serious. When I came in this league. I had a lot of different opinions about me and kind of who I was as a person, and since day one, I've just always taken this thing serious, and 12 years later, I still do. So, I really think that's why, I've lasted, so long, and I make plays too.
Did you see with this defense that, or like the conversation some people talk about is like, because this is a veteran age group, like, will they drop off? I'm just wondering, like, what you see that drop off isn't occurring. What are signs you look for? Is that something you even pay attention to? That like you guys are still performing at peak?
Yeah, I mean, each and every year is different. I think each and every year your body feels different. But I think the older you get, man, you just have to kind of have to embrace it. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not young anymore. I don't run as fast as I used to. Probably don't hit as hard as I used to. But, I think anytime you come out here, I think a big part of football is, and the reason why we love this game is because when we come out here, like we're kind of feeding off each other. You know what I mean? So, being around young guys and being around Latin, Alante, and Debo, I think just that alone kind of gets your energy up and, ready to go.
Right, Demario was saying that, like, for his position, he looks at, like, even younger, like Fred Warner and stuff like that. They're younger players that kind of make him.
Oh yeah. I mean that's part of it. I think we're all fans of the game. I think we all appreciate great players, and so whether you're a young guy or an old guy, it's kind of cool to be able to look across the league and kind of compare yourself to other guys.
How different is it just not having fans out here cheering for you?
Yeah, it's not the same, man. I was talking about that earlier with a couple guys, and it's cool to be out here. Definitely. We miss home. You know what I mean?
When you say it's not the same,
obviously it's not as hot. I don't see my kids. I don't see my family in the stands. So just that alone is a little different.
Tyrann, you're one of a few double-digit year veterans on this team, and Cam and DeMar the last couple of days talked about, time is not real. You never know whenever it could be over. You've been on a couple of Super Bowl appearance teams, and the way that the intensity has been so far this offseason, how much does that really parallel to what a team needs to reach that level?
Yeah, man, I think we're getting there. You know what I mean? And like I said, earlier in the spring, man, it kind of started. with our exit meetings, from last season, and we got a lot of motivated guys. You know what I mean? Me and DeMario was talking about that, earlier, and just the expectations I think we have for ourselves. We really haven't lived up to it. So we got another chance to do it, and I think everybody's motivated, and everybody has different motivations. I think some guys are in contract years, and a lot of us are trying to prove that we can still do it. So it's just a good place to be in, I think, as a team.
How does it feel to wear a beanie right now?
A beanie? I feel cool.
Hey, Tyrann, this is a little off topic, but Jacoby Jones being with tomorrow. Did you know him well?
I met Jacoby a few times. I played against him a few times throughout the league. Obviously, Louisiana kid, and every time I saw him, man, he was always full of life. You know what I mean? And he was a great player too. He was one of those great role players that understood, his impact and his role. And still remember when the lights came back on in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And he took it to the house, and like that. Those are one of those moments, man, that you kind of pray for as a kid to make a play like that in the biggest game of the year, in front of your people. So, man, just wishing his family well, and really, may he rest in peace.
Tyrann, DeMario's been really demonstrative when it comes to getting on teammates coming off the field and making a simple mistake on defense. How was your approach different to talking and helping the younger players along that are for you?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's different. I think for me, you just got to know how to approach guys. How to talk to them. But I think between me, DeMario, and a lot of other guys on the defense, I think that's important. You know what I mean? Just holding guys accountable. And just kind of making them aware of their responsibilities and how much this means to everybody.
Do you find yourself saying things to these players that veterans said to you at a different team coming up?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of great veterans, over the years, between Larry Fitzgerald and Patrick Peterson, and like I said, everybody's a different leader, and everybody approaches different. But you kind of take things from each one of them, and I'm getting old. I feel old as those guys were, when I came in the league. But it's fun, man. I love it. And like I said, man, it's all about accountability. Just trying to hold everybody accountable and to that standard.
So how interested are you to see who wins the starting spot across from you? Does it matter at all?
Nah, it doesn't really matter. I think I've played with, maybe 4 or 5 different, safeties since I've been here. It's fun. And it's competitive. I think anytime you got 2 or 3 guys competing for a spot, I think it kind of raises the intensity in the room, the intensity in practice. So just trying to push all those guys along, and made the best one win.
Tyrann, at LSU, though, you were asked about it at your camp already, but what was your reaction when you found out Corey Raymond was coming back to LSU?
I was happy, man, because before that it was hard. You know what I mean? It was some 3rd and 8, some 3rd and 9s. We should have got off the field, and we didn't. So, but Corey, man, he has a unique way of connecting with guys and motivating them and challenging them. I didn't really have a chance to play for Corey because the year he came in was the year I got suspended. But obviously, he coached me in the spring, and just those 3-4 months alone kind of made me appreciate him as a coach, and I wish I could have played for him. But he's one of those rare coaches that you get that just relates to guys in a way that most guys can't.
Knowing both how hard it is to keep a roster together and how hard it is to win a Super Bowl, do you ever have conversations with DeMario and Cam about y'all wanting to win a Super Bowl while this particular defensive group is still together?
For sure. Like I said earlier, me and DeMario kind of had that conversation earlier, right? And we was kind of talking about legacy, and it'd be a shame, like if I came back home and teamed up with DeMario and Cam and a lot of great other great guys on the defense, and we don't punch our ticket. You know what I mean? Like we don't live up to the hype or the expectations or the standards that we kind of set for ourselves. So we're conscious of it, but we don't let it affect our day to day. We're just trying to put as much work in as we can, and once we get to game days, kind of let it loose.
Do you still find training camp? I guess you still approach training camp like the same attitude you may have years ago. Like you look at Cam and he's still running, running all the way down the field.
Yeah, I mean you are who you are. You are who you are. Whether you're in year 1 or year 12, year 19, right? you are who you are, and so it's just important to be who you are, and show up, and understand that a lot of these young guys are kind of looking to you, trying to find their way. So it's important to kind of show up and be the same guy, every day.
What would it mean to you to punch your ticket this year, knowing that the game's in your city?
I mean, it'll mean a lot. Obviously, that's a long way, down the line. It's a lot of work you got to put in to get to that game, and we just got to take it step by step, game by game. And like I said, man, we just got to find a way to continue to hold people accountable, and make sure that everybody's kind of pushing towards that standard and kind of hitting their head on the ceiling. You know what I mean? Each and every day.
Hey, Tyrann, when you talk about being one of the older guys, are there examples of like some of these young guys doing? They make you feel old, like the music they listen to.
Well, I'm like the team DJ, so every now and then I gotta play like some little baby or some young boy that I don't really want to, like, I don't want that to be my vibration, early in the morning. But sometimes you gotta take one for the team. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Tom.
Yep. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.